The Creator Life is sponsored by the company Cebu. It's a co-working space that fosters creativity and collaboration, all while getting things done. Check them out in their 2 locations, Mandaue and Cebu IT Park. You can also take advantage of their other spaces in Japan, Singapore, Bangkok, and Hawaii if you become a member. For more info, check them out at thecompany.ph and follow them on Facebook and Instagram at thecompany Cebu. Get 50% off a day pass or a flexi pass when you jot down this code CreatorLife50. That's CreatorLife50 to get 50% discount on a day pass or flexi pass from the company Cebu. Thank you so much to the company Cebu for sponsoring the podcast.
We're not exactly in a favorable place, which is fine. I'm used to this. Ashley and I recorded here.
And then they're naing na sound.
Yeah, that sound exists. It's actually as quiet as this one. I even have an episode that's noisier than this.
And then maklaro lagyan po ng tingog.
Yeah.
I see.
Naubo na nas editing. Just come close to the mic.
I'm as close as I can.
It's just a mic and it's not like I have a camera around or something.
No worries.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. It's been a while. I'm kind of rusty. So, yeah, let's see how this goes.
We have all the time in the world.
Or really.
Yeah.
Or really.
Or maybe you or not. I don't know.
I do. I always have time. Anyway, for the podcast.
Okay,
let's start in 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome to The Creator Life, a podcast that makes sense of how different creators live. I'm Julian CB, that's SIBI, and I'm so grateful that you're listening to the show. If you haven't already, subscribe on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, anywhere you're listening to podcasts. You can also leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. That really helps the show a lot. So, hi guys. Probably this is probably one of the first episodes of season 3. I haven't decided yet which episode goes first. But this is the first recording, so I'm kind of rusty, guys. Forgive me. I've been out on vacation for a while, so I've been getting this brain of mine going, resting up for 2020. So I have a 2020 vision. Char. My guest for this episode is I just became her friend last year. Yeah,
yes.
I'm happy and honored to be her friend. Char.
Wow.
She's Cleo Credo. She's a software engineer and an awesome person.
Wow.
And one of the people part of Women Tech Makers Cebu.
Yes.
One of the people behind a lot of community groups here in Cebu. Dev community groups. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's an honor.
Yeah, I've been wanting to having you on the podcast, I think, last year.
Oh.
But, yeah, it's schedule and everything. I couldn't just get anyone in December. It's been really difficult to get anyone in December. So, yeah. I actually got one. I'm not sure if I got one in December.
Nice.
So I stopped recording in December. Kaya it got so tiring to do anything in December. So at least all I did was to put out the episodes and edit some of these.
But at least you got to do this now.
Yes, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the time I recorded this, it would be like... By the time you listen to this, guys, it would have been basically a month since I recorded this. So... Yeah, I may sound different now, so I don't know how that goes. So, yeah, so I've been wanting to have you on, Cleo, because it's fascinating how even a software engineer, even though I know several software engineers, because I myself am one, fortunately and unfortunately, whatever that means. So yeah, I seem to think that their different software engineers have their own personalities too. We're not like robots, guys. We make
Yes.
programs, but we don't fix your computers.
Yeah, we don't reformat your computers.
We're not technicians, guys. So first off, tell me what you do basically.
Basically, I have a day job, which is I create apps, I create software, whether it be desktop, mobile, and mostly web. And so I work on that from like your normal 8 to 5, or like I go to work at late, so I also go home
Home.
late. And then after that, I do freelancing too, but not that much anymore. And then, aside from that, I'm one of the tech community builders here in Cebu. So, if you go to Cebu and attend some meetups or workshops or tech events, then you'll probably see me around. So, yeah.
Or if you went to DevFest, you may or may not have seen this person talk about something on stage. So yeah.
It's just a breakout session.
Yeah, but how was that? Because I think I remember I was with Demi and Rome. We were like roaming around everywhere. And we were just like roaming around because Demi was done with her
Yeah.
session. And then Rome was just like there, but needed to leave. So I was just going with them. Like, so how was the breakout session?
I was scheduled at 1 p.m. So my talk was about Internet of Things using Firebase. That's the Google technology, and then it's using Raspberry Pi and ESP8266. So I'm using a temperature sensor for that, just to send data from the sensor interfacing with a microcontroller and a microcomputer. So the Raspberry Pi is the microcomputer, while the ESP8266 is the microcontroller. So just to show the difference between what's a microcontroller and what's a microcomputer, and then like use Firebase, which is the Google technology, to actually store the data. And yeah, so we're using it as a database as a service, and then you can also like format some your data after saving it in a database, like transform it to something else, or yeah. So
Yeah.
that's just basically what my talk was about.
Yeah. So I understood that, but if I were to talk to a child, or if you were to talk to a child, how would I explain it to a child? I
That's
guess.
hard.
Or you can. I think you can simplify that.
Okay, so how to simplify it? So I have two kinds of food.
Okay.
So I have a cupcake and a muffin.
Okay.
So I want to know how the muffin or how the cupcake tastes like.
Okay. There.
So you eat it, and then you try to identify
if it's
if it's too sweet or like something like that. I hope that's a good analogy or something.
that seems better.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because you would think a cupcake and a muffin are the same, but
But then they're different.
there are differences.
So that's just the microcontroller and
Maybe
microcomputer.
slight, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how that will go. So, how did you start? How did you get interested in technology in general? Because it must have come somewhere.
Actually, what I really wanted to take in college was Bachelor of Arts in Music. So I wanted to be a composer, but then I'm not from a rich family, and I have scholarships, and if I won't take the scholarship, then I won't be able to go to college. So I took the scholarship, and then the scholarship mandates that I should take a technology course, which is BS Computer Science in UP. So yeah, I I took it, and then yeah, I really wanted to give up on comsci. First year, I wanted to shift to management because I don't really like it. But then, on my third year, I was an intern at techtalks.ph with Miss Tina Amper. So she let me join the startup weekend, and I was able to form a team of students, and for a weekend, we were able to create a product. Then I realized there that it's really nice to build something that people use. So that's how I really got, like fell in love with technology making. It's like the impact you're having when you're making these apps or you're making these products and how these products directly affect people. Like they're using it and then you're the one making it. It's like, oh, it's really heartwarming and it's really fulfilling. Even though every day you're just facing the screen and
Sitting down.
solving problems. So
And
yeah,
you feel like you're not solving problems,
I know
even
you're
though
creating one.
yeah.
So yeah, that's how I really got into technology. And yeah, the rest is history. I guess like I just keep on like experimenting on new things. Like probably got myself into data science also, machine learning, hardware. Like I just don't settle myself in one particular field because I think you have to keep yourself relevant in this industry.
You cannot
You
you
cannot.
cannot stop.
Yeah, you cannot stop.
Because
And
once you stop, then you'll be left behind.
yeah, you will be irrelevant. So
Not you will be irrelevant,
I
but
mean,
what
like-
you know will be irrelevant,
yeah,
apparently.
like you have to keep your skill set, your tool belt, always with the trend. So yeah, that's my story.
Yeah. You mentioned about techtalks.ph. That's the exact thing that I found on your website that you said it is outdated.
No, don't look at my website. It's so outdated. But, so yeah, I plan to revamp it. So please don't look at it for now. So, yeah.
Should have thought of that before.
Yeah.
Because for this season, I'm gonna try. One of my goals for this season is to try to do more research on my guests this time.
Oh,
Because a photo of mine is like sometimes I come unprepared.
it's okay. Like things like this are more natural.
Yeah, it's more chill. But
It's more chill.
it's better if the host. It's the responsibility of the host to know more about the guest at
You're
least
doing your
ahead
best. Yeah,
of time.
appreciate it.
Although if they're my friends, they're like, okay, I will not research about you. I know you. I don't care about what else I don't care about what more you're doing. I'll let you talk about it. But we're friends. I will break your balls or something. So, what? So, I always find people generally who graduate from UP, I always find this,
Not this topic, please.
I don't know. I always find this, always find them more amazing than I'm not from San Carlos. I am not from UP. I graduated in San Carlos or college. And so it's not a secret. It's in my Facebook profile, so it's a little thing. So yeah, I'm from San Carlos, and then my sister graduated from UP, and she keeps saying, "Ay, kanang ano man, sayang nga na cum laude naman ko." Are you kidding me? It's like, are you kidding me? You graduated in UP and you still managed to get cum laude?
She's actually the class valedictorian of her batch.
Oh, see, you
Yeah.
even know that.
Yeah.
You apparently know my sister.
Yeah, I know her. I know your sister. We're in the same org. Like I think 2 or 3 orgs. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, sibling. I call her sibling.
Okay.
It's like that. So,
So what about UP peeps?
I have nothing against UP. They're more awesome.
No,
I always feel inferior.
no, I mean like it's not really about the school, but
It's never. It's usually not about the school, but you know, I feel that way sometimes.
Okay.
Because my sister keeps thinking, di mo po magna. Are you kidding me? You're in UP. Di na CU. It's not small. It's a big deal.
But probably she wants to achieve more.
I know. Yeah, even after she knew na I got magna. It's probably why she reacted that way. Not to brag ha. It's
Sibling
in
competition.
it's public. No, I don't actually care. We don't actually compete.
Okay.
When we fight, it's internal.
I
We don't publish it on social media or whatever. We're not like the Barreto sisters. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, like they're always like trending, and I'm like, there's too much. I mean, like there's more relevant problems.
Than that.
Yes, but anyhow,
Yeah.
that's part of the Filipino culture.
There are two things that I got sad about, like, this month as we're recording.
Mm.
One is the Australia fires,
Yes, yes.
and the other is the recent
Taal
volcano
Yeah.
eruption. We were all fooled when we were children. We thought it's just a small thing that was Taal. It's actually the one that's underwater.
Actually, I went there 2017, and I
Oh.
really went to the crater.
Mm.
And yeah, I always ask the residents there, why don't they have their own electricity? And they told me that the investors are having second thoughts because the volcano can erupt anytime. So whatever you like put a power source there or a water or
It may be,
it's not a good investment. So they always have to like struggle living there in the foot of the volcano.
Yeah.
But it's also good for tourism. Like they really generate great income when for tourists. But then their life also there is very hard.
It's a balancing act.
Yeah.
Because, business-wise, it really doesn't make sense to just invest in a power supply that could explode
Yeah. True.
anytime.
Mm.
But then again, if they're smart enough and they're savvy, I think they could find a way. But
When you come to think of it, the Taal volcano just erupted this year, right?
Yeah.
So it's been like 45 years.
yeah.
So that's quite long.
Yeah.
So people could have, used some resources.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they could have done something.
Yeah,
but
the uncertainty is still there.
yeah, because you never know. Even now, I think as of now, I think there's some flights that pushed through now, but I think the rest are like they're still there in the airport, stranded. Some for almost more
Just
than
pray that
24
they
hours.
will be okay.
Yeah, I hope they'll all be okay.
Yeah.
So okay. We've spent our hearts and prayers for them.
Yeah.
This will probably be outdated a month from now, which is fine. But it's just to pay our respects. So wait. I'm trying to remember how I got. It's probably through either Dorel or like some in the tech community, because like how I got to stumble upon your name.
I think you followed me on Instagram.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, and then you were you're looking at my stories and all, and you're heart reacting to them. So yeah,
I heart react to
yeah.
a lot of stories.
Is that how you get to know me, or I don't know? Way before.
No, it's probably then, but I may have, I may have absorbed your name somewhere that I forgot, because I've been to more than. When was the first time I attended a GDG event? That was 2017, if I'm not mistaken. So I still have the slings at home. So I collect the slings. I'm a collector.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll give you more slings.
No, it's not. It might be the same. Might look the same.
I mean Arduino Day or like.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, different kinds of slings,
Yeah. So, what technologies are you focused on mostly now?
Right now, what I use at work is mostly JavaScript, so full stack. Node.js, React.js, Vue, Molecular, and all other JavaScript frameworks out there. And then on the side, I do Python. So mostly just for hobby.
Python is fun.
Yeah, I'm into machine learning, so I need to use Python for that. And also data science. So I always think that it's really a good combo to use IoT, data science, and machine learning.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I'm doing all these studies behind.
How to study. Because it's like IoT brought on this very fascinating thing where you can actually, you can actually use a lot of things around you to track the world in some way.
For me, I think what really made me interested in these things is the IoT analytics. So it works like this. The architecture is like you have the devices that would collect the information. So that's the IoT part, and then the IoT part would connect to a server or that would
a service.
That would store the data.
Yep.
So and then it will tabulate the data, make some meaningful insights, and that's the data science part. And then after that, based on this data, you train your model, or you do the machine learning. You get like predictive analytics, and you make some all these kinds of like I don't know, this maybe too technical.
Decisions.
Yeah, like regression and all those.
Yeah, so basically,
things.
like, based on what you collected, you get to get some
Forecast,
idea, or
yeah.
you get some idea of what to expect, or what to see in, like, near future or
Yeah, but
something.
it's not just limited to predictive analytics. You can actually like train your model to identify things based on the data or
Yeah.
something. So when you have these three things together, IoT, data science, and machine learning, it's like, really the future. It's I think people call it like the intelligent systems.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're generating billions of data
Yeah.
every day, and they go to waste. So it's good to make use of them by doing
Yeah.
data science and machine learning. So yeah, it's really interesting. Like tech is really interesting in
Yeah.
that part.
It's kind of fun to think. I just thought of something like now. It's like, it's fun to know out of how many tweets that get sent in a day, how many of them are actually stupid.
Actually, there was a study by I don't know, a UP person researcher, and then he told us that people are more reliable than seismographs. For example, there's an earthquake, and then people tweet it's faster than a seismograph.
Yeah.
So like for example, in a place they were trying to identify if there would be a tsunami after an earthquake. So like people are like Facebook status, and
It's
it
actually,
is faster than an actual device.
yeah.
So and
Bitaw,
then
no?
people are like human seismographs.
Yeah. But like now, like, how would you? Because there's these fake news, or like
Yeah.
how would you? You would have some sort of filtering now, unlike
Yeah.
before, where you can, like, just get them all. Like now,
Probably there would be like filtering, data filtering, and data validation. For example, if you're the only one who posted about that tweet, so
probably
yeah, but
nothing.
if a lot at a certain location at a certain
Time frame.
yeah, so I think those were like the factors to be considered.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it's probably like that. It's like, I don't know how people seem to find different kinds of trends in social media, or like they make their own. Like right now, I'm so annoyed. Kana bitaw sa photo, sa kanang na mag-post og photo sa Facebook. Kana bitaw upat ka buok. Then like, diet ako sa 2020. Ha, charot. Like that, those kinds of memes. Like, I don't know. I mean, there's something about like people having fun. Like sometimes I think they use social media to de-stress.
yeah.
Although probably now that's not really a good avenue to de-stress. Because it actually gives you more
It's
stress.
more actually like the distraction. Like
Yeah.
you're becoming unproductive. I'm
Yeah.
so guilty.
Yeah, but I mean, even I don't know, because social media marketing dictates you have to use it. But then, like, yeah, you won't be. But with that, you won't be scrolling mindlessly and to avoid.
Yeah.
And you get sucked by it. But I think social media really contributed to how short our attention span is now.
Agree.
It's like very short na lang. To the point that sometimes you can't get them to even read a picture with like a few words. You have to like grab their attention now and then before they scroll off. I don't know, it's changing the way how we share information, and sometimes
Yes.
if you try to cram everything, it's very difficult to the point na you might misinform someone or lead them to another or a different interpretation.
That's why there's a thing called responsible browsing. Like you just don't like share, but then you actually verify the information because, for example, a person you have like let's say 150 friends, and you share certain information, and then that would disseminate to those 150 people,
Yeah.
and then it's actually fake news.
Yeah, that's true.
So it all starts within us also as
Mhm.
users of social
Mhm.
media to be responsible. But then again,
Then again,
then again, things
one,
just happen.
one of the two of us here are hypocrites. That's probably not my guest.
Well, it could be me too.
Yeah, well,
like,
you never know, really.
never. Yeah.
But like, I've seen the positive effects of social media,
Mhm.
especially when you're really trying to inform people.
Yes.
Like, I think I did something. Was it 3? Yeah, it was 3 years ago, where I think it was the first time they implemented signal shutdown for Sinulog.
Yeah.
And then like people were freaking out. It's like, oh no, no signal. How on earth are we going to communicate or get to meet? It's like the old people were like, we were able to survive without all this before. You're so weak. And I mean, they didn't say that, but So I think I posted something about fire chat. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Fire chat.
Yeah, so it's about, because it was a solution, but
Did you make it?
no,
Ah.
it was an app I found on the
I
App Store ba. And it's like, but ano, so if it's peer-to-peer, it's just through Bluetooth and just the Wi-Fi on your phone, and they can just communicate through locally without connecting to an internet. So maybe they can some way connect.
How
so,
do you connect Wi-Fi when there's no cellular data? Like, how do you connect?
No, just use the Wi-Fi, because it's Wi-Fi plus Bluetooth. It's kind of how in the iPhone there's this feature called AirDrop.
I
So
see.
it's a combo of Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Bluetooth to find each other, like communicate, like to pair. Then use the Wi-Fi to transmit the data.
I see.
And then I think other Android phone makers are trying something similar, cross brand. So like I think three Chinese brands are trying to communicate their phones through
I see.
that kind of combo. So I think they were building out some way, and it was, I think, it's Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So I just posted because like, this could be useful. So I posted it, and it's like 1 or 2 days later, it's like, wow, this got viral. Like, nabot ito pila ka hundreds of thousands. Kaya, when it's Sinulog, it's not just the people in Cebu ba yan.
Yes.
It's people outside going in. Although, that could be affected by the Taal situation.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because, not everyone goes here like a week before, because it's really impractical unless you're a foreigner. So, yeah, like that. I've seen it firsthand that if you do the work and do it properly, then just spread the information correctly and as accurately as you can, because sometimes if you're hurrying up, you may miss one detail.
Yeah.
Two. Well, you can clarify, but yeah.
Responsible social media usage.
Yeah. Not scrolling and looking for memes.
Well, I do that.
I do that too, but then
like, when I'm so stressed, memes are my escape. So
there's so many ways to find memes.
yeah.
So I search for them on Twitter right now. Facebook is sometimes a mix of memes and a hot mess. Although it doesn't help that I follow US related accounts, so there's another kind of trash there called their government too. So not talk about that.
Okay.
So what's a constant struggle of being a software developer?
Probably in my case, it's like finding the balance, because I'm a workaholic, and I go home late, and then when I go home, I also like work on side stuff. So yeah, probably finding the balance, and also like maintaining sound mind. Like, I mean, I'm not crazy or something, but then it's just like there's just too much on your head, and there's just too much that you have to think about. It's like your mind is always multi-threading.
Even
So,
though the mind is actually not designed to
yeah.
do that.
So probably on in my perspective as a software engineer, that's my constant struggle. And yeah. Mm,
Yeah. For me, it's actually a bigger struggle to find that balance because software engineer, and I'm doing this, I'm doing the blog, and it's like,
yeah. You're a person with different,
yeah,
things.
it's like I'm trying to do this so I can escape from this, but sometimes this becomes a problem, so I can't just go back and then because
Mm,
it's weird, but at the same time, I enjoy the struggle, I enjoy the balance because it's
mm,
part of being a creative.
yes.
Because being a content creator, you have to be flexible. You have to learn a lot of things.
Yes,
Sometimes on the
that's
fly.
very true.
Sometimes on the fly. And I think that trait of being a software engineer kinda carried over to my
Mm,
creative work. So yeah, but still, the balance is still a struggle. It's even
yeah.
more of a struggle because the only times I can get to do this is like outside of work.
Yes,
It's
true.
like weekdays or like weekends. So yeah, I barely have me time as it is. So talk to me about how you got into women tech makers and how you got into tech communities because of course you had to have started somewhere or like did it happen at the same time being an engineer then getting into the community or something?
Actually, I worked as a freelancer for like 2 years,
Yeah.
and then I got bored because I'm just at home, so I want to see people, and when I go out, like hello civilization and all that. So yeah, so and then it actually started in Instagram. Like first I had my Instagram account as a photography thing. Like the
Mm-hmm.
theme is photography landscape because I'm also into photography. But then I noticed that okay, I don't really get that much traction. So and then I noticed that in Instagram there's actually a community there, like a developer community, like
Mm-hmm.
international dev community. It's really nice because they're sharing info. It's pretty active. And then so I changed my Instagram to actually be a tech blog. So I posted there what I'm learning. I'm posting there even as a freelancer at that time. So what I'm learning, what projects I'm currently in, what technologies I'm learning, what am I like the daily life of a freelancer or
Yeah.
something. So daily anecdotes. And then after that, I gained followers, and then I also have been a regular attendee of GDG, and then I think that was 2018 when I got to talk at Women Tech Makers.
Mm-hmm.
It's my topic was about women in development, um, uh, how to be a freelancer or something. So that's the first time I talked in a GDG event, and then I also like posted. I also attended tech events and meetups during that time. So whenever there's a tech event, I would like post some stories in Instagram, and people are really interested in what the tech scene in Philippines is because when you talk about Philippines, it's there we're not really that known for like
Yeah. That part.
technology, and then yeah, so I kind of like had an idea to use my Instagram as a platform so that we can showcase what we have here.
Mm.
And then after that, I think I attended a workshop for IoT Cebu. That's like the printed circuit board workshop. And then I met Sir Ron Michael Koo,
Okay.
who is one of the legends of the tech communities here. They've been doing events since 1990s, and
Oh.
then he invited me to talk about PyTorch, which is a machine learning platform developed by Facebook to Pizza Pie. So on February last year, I think
Okay.
February last year, yeah, I delivered a talk about PyTorch, and I demoed facial detection using the framework.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, me and BJ had been like organizing events for Pizza Pie.
Yeah.
And then after that, um it actually started when I met I met some of the people from JS Cebu. So Arnel created a group chat and then he added Dorel there, and then he introduced me to Dorel if I wanted to be a part of React Cebu, and then yeah, I said yes, and I wanted to help, and then after that I didn't know that he's also part of JS Cebu, so we also had a meeting, and then and then after that, like, the rest is history. So
So it's basically every... Kaya I noticed, ang kanindot mong good sa everything in under GS Cebu is like, it's just all the same people.
yeah,
Which
like we're
makes-
just friends.
You're just all friends, and it really makes sense na
yeah.
mukha mo rin magkuyog ba?
Yeah,
I mean-
like we just collab and then we chill.
Yeah.
So and then after that, a friend of mine who I met in Instagram, who is from Manila, is a Facebook developer circle lead for Manila, and then she's also like following me on Instagram, so she really knows that we have a tech community here in Cebu.
That's
And
nice.
she asked me if we wanted a Facebook developer circle here in Cebu, and I told her yes, I'm willing to to make that happen. And so they went here May, and then we had that event, and then right now we already have a Facebook developer
Yeah.
circle
in
Cebu.
Cebu. Yeah.
And so yeah, so that we can support also technologies that are not only from Google but for
Facebook.
like React or React Native, PyTorch, Jest, all those things. So yeah,
so basically all under like, and then I think you're planning GS Conf.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I mean that's for later.
That's for later.
because
yeah.
we're still planning.
They may
things.
or may not be planning that. And, you know,
We're planning for that, but then
it's just a plan.
yeah. We will wrap.
It's there.
yeah. So
I'm not spoiling anything because I have no information.
yeah. So I think that's just how I got into tech communities, and
Yeah.
yeah. It's basically
It's-
like a cause and effect, and then it went
It's
from
just
there.
domino effect.
Yeah.
And it's like everyone knows
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
This is a funny thing about tech communities, even communities in general, because grabe kayo. I applaud Joy and her team there, the company.
Joy. Thank you so much.
Yes, I sponsor the podcast. Although, we'll see if they do still, because I haven't talked to her yet as of this recording. So we'll see about that. But yeah, their team is amazing because like Joy is this. It's like kung ako i-mention ang mga ka-level sa mga goddess community. It's like Ashley
Yes.
and it's like Joy. It's like the both of them are, and
Yeah.
Mr. Nep. So it's them. So it's like, saludo ako sa inyo
Yeah,
guys.
they're really supporting tech communities here, and I think most of the tech events happened in the company. So
Yeah.
it's like the home of.
Yeah, it's like the home
Thank
of
you so
events.
much, Joy, if you're listening to this. Can't
Yeah.
thank you enough.
Yep, can't thank you enough. Because, it's really amazing. Like, how did I encounter the company? I think it was last year, last year. Basta it was like, I think it's been a year na since
And even before there is an IT park, the company, they have been sponsoring also events for free, like the
Yeah.
venue in Mandaue.
Mandaue.
So, yeah, thank you so much.
yeah, I think I think they've been supporting for a while, good, but
Yes.
I think it was only when they got into IT Park and it's like event after event after event after event after
Because
event.
like IT park is like the center of everything, so most people can
Go here.
just go here. Mandaue is pretty like
Pretty
Sunod
far and
yeah, you have to pretty remote.
have to find your way.
Yeah, it's not easy.
I've been
easy
there.
to
It's
access.
nice there, but like I said, ang vibes sa IT Park because it's in IT Park number
Yeah.
1, and now there's like a giant mall in IT Park, so really, really everything. Most of the things are here now.
Yes.
So yeah, you mentioned something to me about tech communities and how you really wanted to own part of it. Like not own
What do
in
you
the
mean
sense, own in a sense na imo take charge gid ba ang kana nga part.
Probably I really wanted the tech community to be for the people because what happened before, I've learned from the past experiences of the other tech community leaders also who like like shared some information.
Mm-hmm.
They told us that there really come a time that some organizations or companies will really use the tech communities for for personal branding and for
Mm-hmm.
personal marketing, and I really don't want that to happen because I think it's really for the people,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to be an avenue of learning, and like it's an environment where we can be ourselves and we can learn as free as we want without any personal agenda or something. So yeah,
Or like for money or
or
whatever.
yeah,
Of course,
so
guys, libre na niyang. It's what they're doing this. They're volunteering. You don't actually earn from this unless they are, ano.
so
It's not something to take lightly. It's really not easy to do any kind of event that's voluntary. That
we just
people
really
volunteer for it.
want to help fellow developers, and by doing so
Yeah.
we will be able to uplift the tech
Everyone.
scene. Yeah, everyone in Cebu. And we can showcase that we have talents here. And
Yeah.
hopefully we will not just be consumers of technology, but we will actually make our own. And that's what we're really trying to achieve by doing this
Yeah.
community work. And yeah, just giving back to the community.
Yep. And we need our own internet infrastructure. Honestly, seriously, I'm not even exaggerating. Because if that doesn't happen, then we're just gonna stifle our growth.
Yes.
Although, admittedly, there are some tech companies that are trying to put up free Wi-Fi stations, but I guess that's still not enough.
Yeah, I
Because they're
think so
still
too.
they're still riding the current infrastructure. But we'll see what happens. Because
Yeah.
I hear there will be competition.
Mm.
Though we'll see. Sorry for that cough. I don't usually cough on the podcast.
It's okay.
Anyway, I think I've had enough. I asked you enough questions. So it's actually what I do on the podcast sometimes. I not really sometimes. What I do on the podcast after I interview is I reverse the situation. So you get to ask me questions.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually fun to get spot on questions. I usually don't ask my guests to prepare questions, like, especially recently. I'd rather get them spot on and not expect the questions, so that I don't have to prepare the answers.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
more like really
I'm really
impromptu.
being honest and genuine,
Yeah.
and I don't have to think too hard
Oh, I see.
or to contemplate on it. So
So-
you won't give me the chance to. So go ask
Okay.
me. Ask me.
Okay, what do you think of the current tech communities here in Cebu?
Here's my 2 cents. There are two sides of
Yes.
the tech community. I mean the tech scene in Cebu.
Mm.
One is the side where they really support the tech communities. They're not just companies that hire developers to do their thing and everything. There are those that support the tech communities,
Yes.
and then there are others that actually don't.
Mm.
I won't mention which companies do or
Yeah,
don't,
yeah.
because that's not for me to say
Mm.
for the others. But yeah, I think there are really companies that don't really interact that much to the communities. One, because it's probably not good for. I don't know if it's not good for their bottom line, or if it doesn't benefit them really. But I think that if you really collaborate with the community, like, I think it's usually a give and take thing.
True.
But maybe there are some aspects of yun na di lang yun mo fit. For example, company X doesn't really fit with the community because none of the technologies they're using are actually being used by the community. So
Actually, that's really reasonable, man. If the company interest doesn't follow through with for example partnerships or sponsorships with these communities, then then in their end, it would really make sense
Yeah,
not to.
not to do anything.
Mm.
Yeah, like I
Mm.
mean, some just go to the extent of letting their employees attend their events
Mm.
or learn from it, but like ano siya, sometimes they're not that open to share ba. Even ang developers naman lang, you don't have to divulge every single confidential item there. I think they get fired if that happens. So
NDA.
so they shouldn't be doing that, but I know. I guess they should just share. They just at least share, at least in the community or in the forums or however they can.
Yeah, it would be good to have diverse information and a
Yeah.
diverse perspective in things, and that would really make it, more collaborative in a
Mhm.
sense. So, but then we really can't force people.
Yeah,
So it depends really on them.
because people are people, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends on their like motivations and their priorities. So yeah,
Yeah.
we just
Because
have-
like I think some technology said they can't just share it because they're like either mission critical or like real time or something. Ano bitaw siya, like some of them are proprietary.
yeah,
or
like they make their own, and
yeah,
then
it would be
it's
difficult
intellectual property.
to go into a trap of ano. But I feel that other companies are starting to use open source because it's easier to use and the community is really there to support it.
Yeah, true.
So I feel that eventually some of those companies that previously don't share enough will eventually do share. So we just wait for that point.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. So
What
what
other
else?
question?
I'm an open book now.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a typical New Year question.
Oh gosh. Sige, go.
So what would you what is your vision for the Greater Life podcast? Oh, it's like I'm the interviewer now.
Yeah, makes sense. You can definitely ask about the podcast. Right now I'm trying because season 1 was more of content creators or like the bloggers, the Instagrammers.
Yeah.
Season 2 was expanding the talent pool to interview, so I'd include like devs, I'd include designers, but there are certain things I was trying to avoid with expanding my talent pool because there's another podcast that tackles creatives also, and I don't want to be doing overlap.
I see.
And since Frances, our common friend, also started a podcast, take it or leave it, guys. Go subscribe to her
Yes,
channel,
it's
to her
a good
podcast.
podcast. So
It's a good one.
Yes.
Yeah, I think she's trying to do new things. I'm not gonna say what they are because it's not for me to say. I think she's trying new things.
Go support Frances.
Yes. And yeah, so I'm trying to expand the talent pool, and I'm trying not to limit myself from Cebu this time, especially this season.
Amazing.
Although there are certain episodes in season 2, if you noticed, they're not from Cebu. They're like from Manila, they're from outside. I think one of them was my workmate before, but then she migrated to another country, so she's there in the other country. So technically, she's not here in Cebu, geographically speaking. But yeah, things like that. So I just want a chill avenue for creatives and the like-minded people to just talk about their life and talk about how they do what they do and how they live. Because that's why when I started my podcast, I actually changed it up. So I said in my intro, it's a podcast that. Okay, I'm sorry. I just started this now, so it's a podcast that makes sense of how different creators live. So I wanted that kind, so it wouldn't be. I wouldn't just stick to the typical questions like how they started out. I wanted to know what makes them tick, and I needed to find a way to encapsulate that into one sentence. So there.
Amazing.
Yeah. I want to know how you live, how you do your thing. And it's awesome. And I find you awesome. That's why you're
Wow.
here. Even though she keeps telling me, "Ay, boring man ko." You're not.
Yeah,
Anything but.
I find myself boring.
To be fair, I also find myself boring, but then like it's like 50-50. So it's either I feel that I'm boring or I feel that I'm neutral. I'm not awesome. I don't feel like I'm awesome.
Same.
So yeah, that's my 2020 vision for the creator. It's not just for this year. I'm just making
Amazing. You're
I'm
trying
just-
new things, and that's really nice.
I'm just making a 2020 joke. Because that joke can last for a year.
What else can I ask?
Go. Just not about money or love life.
Love life.
This is not this podcast. No,
So,
let's not.
how would you describe yourself as a creator? Because this is the Creator Life podcast, and I know you're not just into one type of
Yeah.
creative work. So, what other creative work do you do? What
Yeah.
kind of creative art?
I had to summarize it so it would be easier for people to know. So, I'm a content creator that loves to talk about tech and creators over coffee. So, all those three things in one sentence. I don't need to overthink it. I just love tech. I love talking about creators and I love talking about them over coffee.
Nice.
So,
Do you also like do other creative work, like like visual arts or like
I'm not really good in visual arts.
or
I'm actually one of the people that use Canva.
or some
I will
other
admit
type of medium or like,
I'm mostly into this, the podcast. I've tried doing video. I'm avoiding it for now, but I might be going back.
wow.
And I'm not sure.
You should give it a try.
I'm just gonna give it a try again, but I'll have to do it with a different approach.
I'm looking forward to that.
Oh dear. When I speak it to the podcast, it's like speaking it to the world.
Yes,
So,
you are.
Let's see about that. Then I maintain a tech blog. I've been running for 4 years now.
Amazing.
Yeah. Let's just hope. I'm just hoping for greater things in 2020. And I'm hoping to have a clearer vision of what I want to do. Because it's 2020.
You don't really have to know it like spot on because
Yeah,
probably
but
you'll just
I
know it
need
along
to,
the
I
way.
need, yeah, I just need to know what I want to, like in the long run, what I want to achieve. It's probably how 2020 jokes work. Yeah, because it's, 2020. I can't believe I'm explaining the 2020 joke. I'm not gonna explain it because you guys are smart too. So not that stupid. You listen to this podcast. Although, yeah, I may say stupid things, and my guest may say stupid things. Not necessarily you, huh?
Oh, I know.
Guests has said stupid things on this podcast. So
I think
that's
I
it.
have no more questions.
No more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it's a good place to end it. Thank you, Cleo, for
Thank
being
you so
this
much, Julian. This is an
episode of the Creator Life. One of the first ones for season 3. Not gonna tell you which one goes first because you won't know until this comes out.
Yeah.
So plug your stuff because at the end of the podcast, I let my guests promote their stuff, promote what they do. So floor is yours. Go.
Oh, thank you. So I would like to invite everyone to join React Cebu, JavaScript Cebu. So many.
Basically,
Facebook.
basically every single
community. So Pizza Pie Cebu, Facebook Developer Circle Cebu City. What else? Angular Cebu, Vue.js Cebu, Laravel Cebu. What
That's a
else?
lot.
GDG.
So
Everything.
okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to know more about those communities, I've interviewed
Yeah.
Frances of GDG Cebu. Yeah, I can say that with some confidence. Dorel of
Yeah.
JavaScript Cebu and all those related. BJ of Pizza Pie. And I think he does paglaom sa sugbo, which is another different thing, which is
Yeah.
entirely different, but that's equally as interesting. I think that's it. Oh, yeah. Go listen to my episode with Joy too. I think we've had 2 episodes on. Yeah. And Ashley. Ashley is always awesome.
and IoT Cebu also.
Yeah.
Internet of Things Cebu. So
Yeah.
join every tech community that may have the technology that you're using. Yeah, it will really help you grow, and probably it will also be an avenue for you to learn how to talk and to present yourself and probably share. So we always try to develop that share mindset so that everyone can pitch in their ideas and have a really collaborative learning environment.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think I think that's all.
That's it.
Oh, you can follow me on Instagram at the Filipino Coder.
No, it's just
yeah.
Filipina Coder.
Oh,
there.
Filipino. Sorry.
I had
Yeah.
to verify that. Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's
so-
at Filipina Coder.
Yeah.
Or I'll leave. If you notice, my show notes, they're really poor. So I'll also make a commitment for this season to update the show notes as accurately as possible. So whatever we talk about here, they will be all in the show notes, including every single organization we've mentioned.
Yeah, so I'll just support every tech community here in Cebu. So
Yeah.
please join and then see you in the events that we'll organize
Yeah.
this 20.
Come say hi.
So yeah,
If you
hi.
see us.
Yeah.
Although I won't be there till April.
Yeah, and also if you want to share or you have a technology or project that you want to share, then you're also free to tap us, and then you can
Yeah.
let's share what we know and just let's have
Yeah.
fun together and learn together. So yeah.
Yep.
I think that's it. Thank you so much, Julian.
You're welcome, Cleo. I really appreciate this very fun discussion.
Yeah,
we had.
me too. Like,
Yeah.
it's really
This
nice.
is fun. So, you can check out the podcast on social media. It's at Creator Life Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also follow me on social media. That's at Julian CB. That's JULLIANSIBI. So that's all on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I have to check my Facebook if that's the username. Probably is. So, yeah, if you're noticing things that I'm trying to make this podcast a more independent thing from my tech blog. Although if you want to follow my tech blog, it's at utterlyrandomtechie.com. There's a reason why I'm splitting it off from this podcast. I have a reason for that. Just check out the interwebs and find out why. You'll know soon. Because I have plans for it. So yeah, that's basically it. That's it for this episode. Thank you so much, you guys, for listening. And until the next one, enjoy your tech, enjoy your coffee, enjoy your life, and bye. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.